November 3rd, 2023. Daily Bread. Passage: Joshua chapter 18, verse 1 to chapter 19, verse 51. Key verse: chapter 18, verse 3. Title: Dividing the Land. The whole assembly of the Israelites gathered at Shiloh and set up the tent of meeting there. The country was brought under their control, but there were still 7 Israelite tribes who had not yet received their inheritance. So Joshua said to the Israelites, "How long will you wait before you begin to take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given you? Appoint 3 men from each tribe. I will send them out to make a survey of the land and to write a description of it, according to the inheritance of each. Then they will return to me. You are to divide the land into 7 parts. Judah is to remain in its territory on the south, and the tribes of Joseph in their territory on the north. After you have written descriptions of the 7 parts of the land, bring them here to me, and I will cast lots for you in the presence of the Lord our God. The Levites, however, do not get a portion among you, because the priestly service of the Lord is their inheritance. And Gad, Reuben, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have already received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan. Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it to them." As the men started on their way to map out the land, Joshua instructed them, "Go and make a survey of the land and write a description of it. Then return to me, and I will cast lots for you here at Shiloh in the presence of the Lord." So the men left and went through the land. They wrote its descriptions on a scroll, town by town, in 7 parts, and returned to Joshua in the camp at Shiloh. Joshua then cast lots for them in Shiloh in the presence of the Lord, and there he distributed the land to the Israelites according to their tribal divisions. The first lot came up for the tribe of Benjamin, according to its clans. Their allotted territory lay between the tribes of Judah and Joseph. On the north side, their boundary began at the Jordan, passed the northern slope of Jericho, and headed west into the hill country, coming out at the wilderness of Beth-aven. From there, it crossed to the south slope of Luz, that is Bethel. It went down to Adaroth Adar, on the hill south of lower Beth-Horon. From the hill facing Beth-Horon, on the south, the boundary turned south along the western side and came out at Kiriath Baal, that is, Kiriath Jearim, a town of the people of Judah. This was the western side. The southern side began at the outskirts of Kiriath Jearim on the west, and the boundary came out at the spring of the waters of Neptuah. The boundary went down to the foot of the hill facing the valley of Ben-Hinnom, north of the valley of Rephaim. It continued down the Hinnom Valley along the southern slope of the Jebusite city, and so to En-Rogel. It then curved north, went to En-Shemesh, continued to Goliloth, which faces the pass of Adummim, and ran down to the stone of Boan, son of Reuben. It continued to the northern slope of Beth Arabah and on down into the Arabah. It then went to the northern slope of Beth Hoglah and came out at the northern bay of the Dead Sea, at the mouth of the Jordan in the south. This was the southern boundary. The Jordan formed the boundary on the eastern side. These were the boundaries that marked out the inheritance of the clans of Benjamin on all sides. The tribe of Benjamin, according to its clans, had the following towns: Jericho, Beth Hoglah, Amek Keziz, Beth Arabah, Zemaraim, Bethel, Avim, Parah, Ophrah, Kifar, Ammoni, Ophni, and Geba, 12 towns and their villages: Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpah, Kephirah, Moza, Rechem, Irpeel, Terah, Zelah, Haleph, The Jebusite city, that is Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kiriath, 14 towns and their villages. This was the inheritance of Benjamin for its clans. The second lot came out for the tribe of Simeon, according to its clans. Their inheritance lay within the territory of Judah. It included Beersheba, or Sheba, Malidah, Hazar Shual, Bala Ezem, El-Talad, Bethul, Ormah, Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazar Susa, Beth Lebaoth, and Shaaren, 13 towns and their villages, Ayin, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan, 4 towns and their villages, and all the villages around these towns, as far as Balath Beer, Ramah in the Negev. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the Simeonites, according to its clans. The inheritance of the Simeonites was taken from the share of Judah, because Judah's portion was more than they needed. So the Simeonites received their inheritance within the territory of Judah. The third lot came up for Zebulun, according to its clans. The boundary of their inheritance went as far as Sarid. Going west, it ran to Merilah, touched Dabrasheth, and extended to the ravine near Jokneam. It turned east from Sarid toward the sunrise to the territory of Kisloth Tabor, and went on to Dabaroth, and up to Japhia. Then it continued eastward to Gath Hepher and Eth-Kazin. It came out at Rimmon and turned toward Neah. There the boundary went around on the north to Hanathon and ended at the valley of Iftael. Included were Katath, Nahalah, Shimron, Idalah, and Bethlehem. There were 12 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of Zebulun, according to its clans. The fourth lot came out for Issachar, according to its clans. Their territory included Jezreel, Kesuloth, Shunem, Hapharaim, Shion, Anaharath, Rabith, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, and Ganim, En Haddah, and Beth Pazzez. The boundary touched Tabor, Shahazumah, and Beth Shemesh, and ended at the Jordan. There were 16 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Issachar, according to its clans. The fifth lot came out for the tribe of Asher, according to its clans. Their territory included Helkath, Halai, Beten, Ashaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal. On the west, the boundary touched Carmel and Shahor-Libnath. It then turned east toward Beth Dagon, touched Zebulun and the valley of Iftael, and went north to Beth Emek and Neiel, passing Kabul on the left. It went to Abdon, Rehob, Ammon, and Canaan as far as Greater Sidon. The boundary then turned back toward Ramah and went to the fortified city of Tyre, turned toward Hosa, and came out at the Mediterranean Sea in the region of Akzib, Ummah, Aphek, and Rehob. There were 22 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Asher, according to its clans. The sixth lot came out for Naphtali, according to its clans. Their boundary went from Haleph and the large tree in Zamanim, passing Adomai Nekeb and Jabneel to Lakam, and ending at the Jordan. The boundary ran west through Asnoth Tabor and came out at Hukok. It touched Zebulun on the south, Asher on the west, and the Jordan on the east. The fortified towns were Zedim, Zer, Hamath, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, and Hazor, Iron, Migdal-el, Horem, Beth-Anath, and Beth-Shemesh. There were 19 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Naphtali, according to its clans. The seventh lot came out for the tribe of Dan, according to its clans. The territory of their inheritance included Zorah, Eshtaol, Ir-Shemesh, Sha'alabim, Ajalon, Itla, Elon, Tibnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Baalath, Jehud, Bene Barak, Gath-Rimmon, Me-Jakon, and Rakan, with the area facing Joppa. When the territory of the Danites was lost to them, they went up and attacked Leshem, took it, put it to the sword, and occupied it. They settled in Leshem and named it Dan after their ancestor. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Dan, according to its clans. When they had finished dividing the land into its allotted portions, the Israelites gave Joshua, son of Nun, an inheritance among them. As the Lord had commanded, they gave him the town he asked for, Timnath-Serah, in the hill country of Ephraim, and he built up the town and settled there. These are the territories that Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the tribal clans of Israel assigned by lot at Shiloh, in the presence of the Lord, at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And so they finished dividing the land. Daily Bread Message. After 7 years of war, the land of Canaan was subdued, and the tabernacle was finally set up. But 7 of the tribes were not interested in their inheritance, since it would involve more warfare and struggle. They wanted to retire and relax. Joshua knew their fatigue, so he held a conference at Shiloh to renew their spirit and strength before God to complete the conquest. Complacency in the Christian life is usually the mark of weariness or a distant relationship with God. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. 3 men from each tribe went out to survey the land. Perhaps Joshua wanted them to see firsthand how good the land was, and to have the desire to take it. By taking possession of the land between Judah on the south and Joseph on the north, they could gain the final victory and fulfill God's promise. The surveyors went out and recorded all the details. Then Joshua cast lots and made assignments for the 7 tribes. Our priceless inheritance is kept in heaven, and we are to push on through the struggles to receive it. Prayer. Lord, I come to renew my relationship with you. Give me strength to continue serving your mission. One word, how long will you wait?